This story is very intriguing because if you put a typical 10-year-old kid in a situation like that, despite of whatever his cousins told his mom, and he gains the knowledge, that kind of knowledge, and 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and when you become like 15, that's when you really start thinking for yourself. If my mama said don't, the typical kid's gonna be like, you know what, y'all, holla at y'all, I'm going over here on this side of town, and I'm finna take everything that I know, and I'm finna do this over here. What's the line to make you not transition to do that?
It was them. It's weird, man. It's like I grew up with a code. I grew up with some standards. It wasn't no not graduating from high school. It wasn't no getting knee deep in the streets until you graduate from high school. So you know, it was like a line. It was like a big line, but I had to color in that line, and I wasn't gonna cut off my nose to spite my face, because if I exposed my mom to what I'm doing, you know, and all kind of wild shit would happen while I was down here. I got, you know, there was true story. My cousin had bought a red Ford Bronco, and we were in Westwood, California, where like UCLA is. That's where he had an apartment. And some dudes came, and we were driving in the car, and somebody dropped something on the ground. So we have some glasses. So we all looking for the glasses on the car, on the floor. And somebody came through and shot out all the windows in the car. I still got the scars on my back.
Wow.
We drive back over to the neighborhood only to find out that it's friendly fire. They thinking that they shooting at some other people.
Damn.
Somebody got to give me a leg. I don't give a fuck. Get your leg out here.
Check not the jail. But we don't wait before you get to that. God bless.
I mean,
drop the glasses.
Well, one thing I'm super clear on, man, for everything that I've been through up until this point, is that there's definitely a higher power guiding this journey that I'm on, because there's so many opportunities for me not to be here. I think, you know, I don't want to segue into it, but I think I suffer a little PTSD from it, because I look at my son and I realize, like, dog, you could have just one left turn instead of a right, and you wouldn't even be here. The world wouldn't even know you. You know what I mean? So I mean, you get to this age and you look at it differently. But even back then, so when that kind of thing would happen, I could never go home and tell my mom, one, for her blood pressure, but two, I would never make it, because I was being educated. I was seeing so much early. I was being exposed to women early. I was being exposed to the game early. I was being exposed to how to deal with men. Like, it was education. It was like, and it was, in all fairness, if I'm being honest, it was a very protected education. You know, I knew that things would only go so far, and I knew I was insulated because these people we got the same blood running through our veins.
Shout out to the real big homies.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. Even though I know them your cousins, but
Yeah.
them people that you look up to, that's what everybody call big homies.
Yeah.
Shout out to real big homies. And if you're a big homie and you follow our podcast and you listening to this, please be one of these. Please be one of these. Please make sure your homies go to school. And despite what you do, despite whatever y'all do, if you got little homies and they in school, make sure they go to school. Don't let them be out there. Push them through. When they get old and graduate, if they want to choose the path, then you go to the next step and you choose them how to do whatever they want to do. Yep. But until then, boy, please be a real big homie.
Let them get that. Let them get a diploma in education.
Yo, man, these guys taught me standards that I still live by today. One of them is not with us no more, but they taught me standards that I still live by today. And
what's your cousin's name? Give him a shout out.
Tone and Keith Hassan.
Give him a shout out.
They Keith passed away 2014.
It's easy.
But he was the coldest gangster I've ever seen, and his brother is the coldest hustler I've ever seen.
Damn, that's a hell of a combo.
And
you got, that's how it usually be though.
And you got people on these walls that know them.
Yeah, that's embassy. Listen, these are stories right here.
Yeah.
But see, that's why I like having these dialogues, because listen, people like that, we want to honor them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We
so
need
people who
to
come
put
in
them
who
up
don't
there
know
next.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So people who don't know these people can look up and be like, who is this? And we can start getting them the real bread of people. Besides the social media, these were times when your name really meant something. Now this social media make anybody
be
I want to
famous.
hold on to these times and these people.
Hey, but you
like
didn't
this.
hear what he said though. Like,
What?
he said, it's people on your wall.
Wow.
He didn't say it's a dude up there. He said
It's
it's
people.
people.
Facts.
Their father was a dope dealer. So I used to help him. His thing was heroin. So I used to help him bag up when I was 6 or 7. So that's the trade they learned. So it'd be the equivalent if their father was a doctor, or if their father was a lawyer, if their father was a carpenter. They would have learned that skill set. But in lieu of the fact that their father was a dope dealer, they learned that skill set.
This nigga